This Friday was the 170th anniversary of the French Impressionist Pierre-Auguste Renoir's birthday. And since we haven't done a whole lot with Impressionism, I decided that this would be an excellent opportunity to look at another of one of Impressionism's most famous paintings, and this is Renoir's Bal du Moulin de la Galette. And everyone, of course, immediately asks, well, what does the title mean in English? It's not the easiest to translate. Bal, obviously, is the French word for dance. That's easy enough. Moulin, it means mill in French, if you translate it literally. Specifically a windmill, like Moulin Rouge, the red windmill. And this term was often used synonymously with some sort of like a cafe. And then galette means like a pastry or a cake. So the Moulin de la Galette would be like a pastry cafe of some sort. Now, it's an actual specific name, and today it's a restaurant in Paris. Here's a picture of what it looks like. But it wasn't always actually a restaurant. Back when Renoir was alive and painting, the Moulin de la Galette was, at the time, what was called a guinguette. And a guinguette was in France, typically in the suburbs surrounding Paris. They were popular, essentially drinking establishments, but they would also serve as restaurants, and as you can see here, as dance venues. And they were very popular in this particular time period in which Renoir was painting. And this painting is actually one of the most expensive paintings ever sold. I think it's number 5, and it resides today in the Musée d'Orsay in Paris. Now, this painting differs a lot from a lot of the paintings that we've looked at in that it is essentially just a depiction of enjoyment, of pleasure. What a lot of people mistakenly think about this painting is that it's supposed to be some sort of representation of the upper class and what that lifestyle was like. But these people depicted here aren't upper class at all. They're not poor, but they are middle class. These are working class type people. And this is sort of during the Industrial Revolution that had spread throughout Europe. This was after, almost immediately after, the Franco-Prussian War, which was sort of a disaster for France. But what had happened after that was this period of revitalization that spread throughout Europe, particularly in metropolitan areas like Paris. So now we see a renewed interest in convivial, lively, laid-back atmospheres with an emphasis on enjoyment, the type of lifestyle that was always enjoyed by the upper class, the aristocracy in France, but now also by the middle class as well. So this is an opposite of I don't know if we've looked at any kind of archetypal, what are called morality paintings yet. Maybe we will in the weeks to come. But this is the opposite of that. And Renoir complements that, or substantiates that, through his particular brushwork. You can see it's very quick. The brushes, the strokes, are very fast. There's a very flowing kind of spinning nature to a lot of the figures that we see depicted in this painting. Also, notice how Renoir captures the natural and the artificial light and almost appears to give the painting kind of a flickering. And of course, capturing lighting accurately and depicting that in new ways was one of the hallmarks of the Impressionist movement. So as I said, in several ways, this painting is really pretty revolutionary. Not only that it's an Impressionist piece, of course, and Impressionism in and of itself was very revolutionary. But typically in kind of the Parisian art world, you didn't have as much of an emphasis on depicting the middle class like you see in this particular painting. It was either the upper class or some artists focused kind of on the most squalid conditions of life, where they would have depicted the poorest people in society. But Renoir, unlike some of his other Impressionist contemporaries, like Degas, who would have looked down on the middle class like this and was only really interested in painting pictures that would have suited the aristocracy, Renoir was able to focus primarily on the middle class as his main subject throughout his life. And the thing I love about this painting, really more than anything else, is just that there's so much going on, and that you can really learn to appreciate the atmosphere and kind of absorb what life was like in Paris at this time just by studying this painting. I hope you enjoy it as much as I do. Have a great week, everybody, and I'll see you again next week. And hey, if you like what I'm doing here, please don't forget to subscribe. It lets me know that what I'm doing is worth my time, and it'll allow you to increase your appreciation of art with a new painting every week.